Hello, thank you for tuning in today. My name is Alyssa Graham. There are roughly 153 million orphans worldwide. That is a very astronomically high number. Every day, an estimated 5,700 more children are considered orphans every day. My topic today I will be talking about is international adoption of children. It will be my job to persuade the audience of the importance of adopting children from poverty-stricken countries. I feel that internationally adopting is just as important as adopting from your home country. As of now, my cousin and her husband are in the process of adopting two beautiful children in the country of Sierra Leone, West Africa. I am very happy because I know that they're going to a very loving, happy family here in America, and there are so many opportunities here that they never got to experience in Sierra Leone. Finding ways to decrease the number of orphans in these poverty-stricken countries has many benefits for the children. I hope that as I speak about this topic today, it will allow us all to become more aware of why we need to adopt children from different countries. Over here, I have talked about the different risks and horrible things that these orphan children in poverty-stricken countries have to deal with. So the first thing is they're at risk of death due to unclean water or malnutrition. They're at risk of death due to insufficient or no shelter at all. They're at risk of having no education or economic opportunity. They are now at risk of diseases, even death by preventable disease. They are at greater risk of sex trafficking. They are at risk of being conscripted as child soldiers and being conscripted for child labor. While the American foster system does have its flaws, children in the foster care don't experience these horrors that these orphan children in poverty-stricken countries do every day. Children in foster care have access to medical care, Medicaid, court reviews, and oversight from agencies. According to an article I found on the line, it stated, granted they may be at a higher risk for other problems and lack of a lifelong family connection, but some adoptive families are drawn to children with greater needs in developing countries. I'm now going to discuss the country Sierra Leone, West Africa, where my family is adopting from. Sierra Leone remains among one of the world's poorest countries, ranking 180th out of 187 countries total. Access to healthcare is severely limited. Every day, children and adults die from non-life-threatening diseases or healthcare conditions that have turned vital. Education also faces two major hurdles. The first one being it is not readily accessible, and the second one, it's not fully valued, especially for the little girls trying to have a better education. There are currently a few companies, such as Children of the Nations, who serve and help protect the people of Sierra Leone. But I think these children need to be adopted and saved from these vital, crucial times. An important statement that I need to mention is that you can't just adopt from any country. You can't just throw a dart at a board or on the world map and pick that country. Choosing a country is not that easy. Many countries are closed to international adoptions for a variety of reasons. Because of the Hague Adoption Convention, many poor countries are closed to international adoption because they are working to implement changes for their families and their children. Lastly, some children like Russia are closed due to political reasons. Do not let any of these tough restrictions change your opinion on adopting these poor children. Every country that does choose to place children for international adoption has established rules and requirements for adoptive families, putting restrictions of parental age, marital status, and healthcare. That was a quote from a website that I found. I think this should be an even better motivator to why you should consider international adoption for these children. Early life experiences no doubt affect a person. If considering adoption internationally, anyone should be prepared to address the effects of trauma and institutionalization. Every child who has lost his or her birth family and lived in an orphanage or a foster care system have experienced trauma. This trauma has shaped the way their brains have developed, and this will affect the behaviors and their thinking. The good news is that traumatized brains can be rewired over time with consistent, compassionate, trauma-infused parenting. Over time, The reality of international adoption is needing to be prepared to become a multicultural family. When you adopt a child from another country, you are separating them from their birth culture. Some ways of integrating their culture to your home can be home-cooked ethnic meals, books, holiday traditions, and art. You'll find yourself learning more over time. According to a website I found, it stated, but the truth is that it is impossible to ignore racial differences entirely, and parents who are raising children of a different race must be prepared and comfortable addressing physical differences and talking about these issues. My last full reasoning why international adoption should be a go-to choice is because your life will never ever be the same. You will fall in love with a child and will become a core part of the rest of your life. According to a website I found online, it stated, in the end, what matters most is not where a child is from, but whether or not that child is well loved and well cared for by a responsible family, regardless of race or international. Families don't have to match. You don't have to look like someone to love them. In conclusion, there has been a large % drop of international adoption. In 2005, nearly 46,000 children were adopted worldwide. International adoptions have since gone to 12,000 in total, just in 2015. That is a 72% drop. Finding ways to decrease the number of adoptions of orphans in these poverty-stricken countries has many benefits overall for the children. Every method of adoption comes with its own challenges, struggles, and joys, and no adoption journey is alike. I want to make it my goal to adopt at least one child from a different country. There are just so many opportunities here in America that these children don't ever get to experience. Around the world, there are 153 million orphans. This should be a wake-up call in order for us all to save these poor children and give them a place to call home. Thank you.